morning, guys, and welcome back to another Sunday meal prep video. I am super excited to bring these meals to you today. Hopefully they turn out good. I have one new recipe to try. I'm going to do one repeat recipe, and then I have a new dessert to try as well. And if you are new here, my name is Jennifer. I am 47 years old. I have been doing WW for a little over 2 years now, probably about 2.5 years, and this has just kind of become mine and my husband's lifestyle. We meal prep our meals for the whole week on Sunday, so we have them Sunday night through Friday night. So I choose 2 meals and I make 6 servings of each, and then we just alternate those throughout the week. It works for us. We love it. It makes our weeknights so easy. We just have to warm up our meal and we are good to go. So if that is something that you're interested in, go ahead and click subscribe down below and that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my uploads. I usually upload 3 times per week. And also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle here for you on the screen as well. And then I have a really great Facebook group that I co-admin with Roy from Recipes with Roy and Bree from Balancing Life with Bree. It is called Finding Our Way, and this is the icon to that group. There is also a direct link down in the description box to that Facebook group. Highly recommend that you join that. Lots of great people in there and everything. Also, speaking of the description box, all of the recipes that I use today will either be linked and or typed out down in the description box, along with a link to my WW app recipe builder, to where you can just import that into your Weight Watchers app. Now, you do have to be on Weight Watchers. It won't work with another app, but that is the easiest way to share, and then that way you can calculate your personal points, because my points may not be the same as your personal points depending on what your 0-point foods are. So I really don't give points necessarily anymore, but again, you can import that in and customize it. You save it to your favorites, and then you can customize it and make whatever changes are necessary. You may not use the same exact ingredients as I use, so on and so forth. You can always make every recipe your own. I always do that. If there's something that I like or don't like, I change it, leave it out, add it, whatever. So with all that being said, the 2 meals that we're doing today, one is going to be my Mexican meatloaf. We are going to do that with some roasted sweet potatoes and some roasted veggies. I've made that a bunch. I love that nice filling meal. Highly recommend. That one is an actual Weight Watchers recipe that is in the app. I do change it and use Jiffy mix in mine, which actually raises the points. So if you want lower points, then you can search for the ones that's in the app. But what I leave below is going to be the one that I saved in my app, and it will be modified to include the Jiffy mix. So again, you can find that in the Weight Watchers app if you want to do it in a lower point way. The new meal that we are going to try this week is going to be Cajun Chicken Sausage and Rice from the Skinnyish Dish. So that sounds pretty good. It is cooked in the oven in a casserole dish. So we will see how that one turns out. And then for dessert, I'm going to make chocolate chip pumpkin sheet pan bars, and this is from Drizzle Me Skinny. So that's what they look like. Now, she says in here that she cut hers into 35 squares. Now, I don't want something that's tiny, and so hers come out to like 1 to 2 personal points, depending on your points, is what she says. I'm probably not going to cut mine that tiny. We'll see whenever we get to it how much I cut mine to, and then I will just change whenever I enter my recipe. You can just make it however many servings you want it to be. So if I cut it into 12 pieces, then I will put 12 and it will tell me what the points are. If I cut it into 24, so on and so forth. So again, I don't know if I'm going to cut it into 35, because 35 sounds like they're going to be a little bitty, and I want more than a bite for my dessert. It is what it is, and I don't want to have to choose 4 of them when I can just cut them into larger pieces. That is going to be the perfect portion size for Charlie and myself, because he will probably eat these as well. Now, with all that being said, let's get into the video. Alrighty, we are getting ready to start on our meal prep for the day. This is what Charlie is going to prep. We have the food critic here, the watcher of all things, Mr. Nico. Get away from the chicken. I don't like it if he tries to lick the chicken. So we do have 2 packs of chicken here. Charlie will probably just have to dice up, I would say 4 of these chicken breasts, and then we will freeze the other 2. Publix did have these buy one get one half off, which if you watch my grocery haul, I only got like half of my groceries from Kroger, and so what I did later was just did an order through Publix and actually had it delivered because I couldn't get a pickup that day, so I just paid a little extra, had it delivered so that we had what we needed. This is the turkey sausage for the Cajun Chicken Sausage, whatever the name of that recipe is that we were making from the Skinnyish Dish. Charlie will just dice this up into rings as normal and dice up 4 of these chicken breasts. One of these green peppers is also going to be diced to go in that. So what he will do is dice up the green pepper, probably put it to the side in a little bowl, and then he will dice the other 4 peppers up for my breakfast and pizzas and stuff. Then we have a little tomato. I did get half a pound of turkey to try to take my lunch to work this week, just in case I need it. If I don't, then, and I'm hoping that I really don't, that I do get out of there in 5 hours, but I'm just worried that I will get stuck and just want to have my lunch that I can just sit and eat at my desk just in case. I did get this cantaloupe from Publix they brought last night, so we will see. Hopefully this one has a little bit of flavor. She looks good, so we will see. And then we have the 2 pineapples to dice up as usual. And then I also got my blueberries bought from Publix last night, so these look pretty good. I will just wash those up in the vinegar and water. And then there's nothing that Charlie has to prep. Oh no, I'm lying. There is. I forgot the sweet potatoes, which I meant to actually get like another sweet potato or 2. We'll see what these look like when Charlie dices them up. But he will dice up these sweet potatoes as well. I'll just leave the basket out for him. Those have to be diced up because we will season those up with the cinnamon and the pink Himalayan sea salt and roast those in the oven. So the Mexican meatloaf, in my opinion, is a very easy meal to make. I just basically Charlie will dice these up. We will cook this, the Mexican meatloaf muffins, and the bird's eye vegetables all in the oven at the same time. So that is like a one and done. And then actually this Skinnyish Dish recipe, it is, there's Nico, it is all cooked in a casserole dish in the oven as well. So I'll probably put together the Mexican meatloaf and do all of that first and get that one going while I'm prepping the one for the Cajun Chicken Sausage Bake or whatever it's called. But anyway, with that being said, let's roll into Charlie's prep.
Don't wanna say goodbye, yeah. Want your skin on my skin. Just one last time, if I can't have you, babe. I don't want nobody else in my life. So darling, please pull me closer. If this is the last time, it could count now, baby. Yeah, darling, please pull me closer. It's not over until it's over. I know we get it all we got. Yeah, we try. Side by side, side, but I get it. Sometimes love's just not enough when you try. Side by side, but things don't get better. You get bitter. Don't wanna say goodbye, yeah. Lay your head on my chest. Just one last time. If I can't have you, babe, I don't want nobody else around. So darling, please pull me closer. If this is the last time, it could count now, baby. Yeah, darling, please pull me closer. It's not over until it's over. I know we get it all we got. Yeah, we try. Side know we gave it all we got, and we try, side by side.
Okay guys, I'm getting ready to do my fruit bowls. I'm only doing six this week instead of 7 because I still have one left from last week. So my pineapple, my cantaloupe, and my blueberries as normal. And I'm just going to do like I did last week and put together one bowl. And then we will just do the rest real quick. And then I'll do 6 containers of yogurt to go with it as well. And then we'll throw in a handful of blueberries. So that's what one bowl looks like. Let me get the rest done and then I'll show them to you. Alrighty, here are my completed fruit bowls. I have 6 of them, 6 containers of yogurt. This is my tomato for my sandwiches this week, and my diced peppers for my pizzas and my scrambled eggs. So looking good. I'm going to get all this put away, and then we're going to get started on the Mexican meatloaf. Alrighty, I'm getting ready to start on the Mexican meatloaf. I'm going to make it into 12 muffins. I have a muffin tin here. What I like to use is a pound of the 99% lean ground turkey. I'm supposed to have a can of diced chilies, but instead they gave me diced jalapenos, so we're just going to go ahead and make it with that this week because we like stuff spicy anyway. I do like to use the Jiffy mix. Again, this adds a ton of points, so if you don't want to use this many points, use cornmeal, use a substitute, something else, but we've been eating it this way for a long time, and this is the way that we like to do it, so that's what I do. This whole little box that I'm going to add in is 44 points, just so you know. So it's a lot. And then we will mix in half of this red enchilada sauce into the mixture and then pour half on top towards the end. And then, of course, we need my favorites, ground cumin, chili powder. We're also going to use some salt and pepper and a couple of eggs. So we're going to mix this up real quick, get it in the muffin tins, and then Charlie has already diced up the sweet potatoes. We are just going to season these up with olive oil spray, pink Himalayan sea salt, and cinnamon. Go through that a couple of times. So we're going to bake all this together in the oven. And I have another pan ready over here to put my California blend veggies on that we will season with the McCormick steak seasoning that I like to season those with, which makes those nice and spicy as well. We'll just kind of do that last, and then we will cook it all in the oven at the same time. Okay, so I have my 2 eggs in here. We are just going to add in the ground turkey. And then we will start adding everything else. I'm going to go ahead and put in the box of Jiffy mix. And I'm going to go ahead and add in the thing of jalapenos. Again, this is supposed to be green chilies, but that's what Kroger gave me, so we are just going to use it. And I have to check my recipe and see if I'm forgetting anything. So 2 eggs, lean ground turkey. I'm not adding the onion. It's in the recipe, but chili enchilada sauce. So we're going to go ahead. It only calls for like an 8 or a 10 ounce can of enchilada sauce, which this is a 15 ounce can. So we really don't need this whole thing. So I'm going to add about that much of it, maybe a little bit more. And then we are going to go in with some salt and pepper. And some ground cumin and chili powder. I think it calls for like half a teaspoon of each. I'm not measuring it, as you can see. And that's it. We're going to mix it up, and then we will have it ready to spoon into the 12 muffins. Which actually I'm not going to spoon it. I'm going to use an ice cream scoop. Okay, so I have that mixed. I'm going to use the Baker's Joy and spray my muffin tin really well. And then we are just going to scoop it into the 12 muffins.
Never up, never down, never. Like a theme in a song, clever. Feeling high, feeling low at the same time. Feels so right, then I'm wrong.
Okay, these have been divided into the 12 muffins. Basically, these are going to cook for about, I don't know, 45 to 55 minutes, and then we will take them out and top them all with some more of the enchilada sauce, and then bake them for another 5 or 10 minutes. So I'm just going to let this sit for a minute, and we are going to work on these sweet potatoes. Okay, so we have our sweet potatoes here. Charlie has already diced these up. You're going to need 3 things for this. I'm going to use some extra virgin olive oil spray, pink Himalayan sea salt, and cinnamon. And we're just going to basically coat them with the spray, put salt on them, cinnamon, stir it, and then do it all again.
I'll be fine, but I get up, I always do. I never think, I always do. Never thought I wouldn't jump, oh what a fool. But if I fall, I will get up again.
Okay, those are ready to go in the oven. Now as well, let's just get the California blend veggies seasoned up and we will be ready to put this in. Okay, these are the veggies we're going to use. I'm just going to put them on this sheet pan and then season them up really well with this Montreal steak seasoning. This is kind of spicy, so if you don't like things spicy, you might not like that. You can use whatever seasonings you prefer. And there we go. Everything's ready to go in the oven. I'm putting all three in, the Mexican meatloaf, the sweet potatoes, and these. I'm going to set a timer for, I think, 45 or 50 minutes to pull the Mexican meatloaf out so that we can put the enchilada sauce on top. But I'm also going to set another one for about 30 minutes because this will go on one rack, the other two will go on another. I will swap them at that point and kind of give the veggies and the sweet potatoes a stir. So 375 is what I have my oven preheated to as well. Okay, we are ready to plate up our Mexican meatloaf. Each one of us is going to get 2 of the muffins. And we don't really have a whole lot of sweet potatoes this week, so I'm hoping that there's enough that we can each get 4 ounces. We'll see. I'm going to measure 4 and go from there. I'll move it around if I need to. Those are kind of some small sweet potatoes. Okay, and then I'm just going to divide the veggies evenly between all 6 containers. Alrighty, here are the completed meals for the Mexican meatloaf with the sweet potatoes. We ended up with just a little bit less than 4 ounces of sweet potatoes in each one, which is fine. And then everything else is just divided out evenly, so looking delicious. Again, the recipe and the link to my WW app recipe will be listed in the description box below. Alrighty guys, I am ready to start on the Cajun Chicken Sausage and Rice. This is from the Skinnyish Dish. It does call for some avocado oil spray or olive oil spray. So I'm just going to use my olive oil spray. A medium diced green bell pepper. It calls for onion. I'm leaving that out. 4 to 5 cloves of minced garlic. I'll just use 4 or 5 teaspoons of garlic. 1.5 pounds of raw chicken breast, which I have here. Calls for 14 ounces of turkey smoked sausage. I have 13 ounces of turkey smoked sausage here. A can of fire roasted tomatoes. I just have this fire roasted rotel. A can of the fat-free cream of chicken soup. 1 cup of uncooked long grain white rice, which I have jasmine rice here. And then 1 1/4 cups of water. And then we're going to use a tablespoon of Cajun seasoning and a teaspoon of celery salt. So basically I'm going to do the peppers in a skillet with the garlic until that is softened, and then we're going to mix everything together and put it in a casserole dish, and it's going to bake in the oven 375 degrees for an hour. So, pretty simple. It does say to just put everything in the casserole dish and mix it, but I think I'm going to put everything in a bowl, and then once the peppers and stuff are cooked, I'll just put that on top and then mix it all together well, and then put it in the casserole dish, because the one I made last week, it was hard to mix everything in the casserole dish together. So we're going to do it that way this week and see how it turns out. So I think this is going to be fairly easy. Let me get a skillet and we will get these peppers browned with the garlic and get it in the oven. Okay, so I have my skillet here. We're just going to spray it. Then we're going to go in with, I'll just do 5 teaspoons of garlic. 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to mix our green peppers in there with this. If you were using onion, you would do this as well. Onions and the peppers, but we're just leaving those out. Just going to give this a little mix. This probably won't take but just a couple of minutes to soften up. I'm going to get a big bowl and start mixing everything else up together so that I can just put this on top and then mix it, and then we will put it in the casserole dish. I am going to season my chicken with just some salt and pepper as well. So there, I've got my chicken seasoned up in the bowl. We are just going to add in the turkey sausage. We're going to go ahead and add in our cup of rice. Again, it says to do this in a casserole dish and then mix it together well, but that was difficult last week, so we're going to try it a different way. We're going to go ahead and add in our rotel and our can of cream of chicken soup. I think our peppers are softened up enough. I don't want the garlic to burn. It looks like it's starting to burn a little bit. We're going to go ahead and add that in. And it calls for 1 tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, or a little bit more if you like it spicy. I know we like it spicy. So we're just going to kind of do a good little dousing of it in there. And then it calls for a teaspoon of celery salt. Okay, 1 teaspoon of celery salt is in there. And then I think all we have left is the water. And then we are just going to mix this up well and put it in the casserole dish. And it says to cover tightly with aluminum foil and bake for an hour, or until the rice is cooked through. And then along with this, I am going to do some steamed broccoli on the side, and I'm just going to cook that in the microwave, in the microwavable bags. It also says to generously spray your casserole dish. So that's what we'll do. And we're going to tightly cover this with aluminum foil, and I'm just going to put it in the oven for an hour and hope for the best. While this is baking, then we will get our dessert ready to go, which is the chocolate chip pumpkin sheet pan bars. Alrighty guys, we are ready to do these chocolate chip pumpkin sheet pan bars. I've kind of already gotten everything together. So we need 4 eggs, which I've already got that here in the bowl ready to go. It calls for 1/2 cup of brown sugar, which I'm using the Swerve brown sugar replacement. 3/4 cup of unsweetened applesauce. This is all that I have. I think that's probably just 1/2 cup, but we're going to go with it. 1/4 cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, which this is the 1/4 cup of my Chobani non-fat Greek yogurt. We are going to use 2 cups of canned pumpkin. So I'm just going to use this can of canned pumpkin. I don't know if that's 2 cups, but I think it should be. And then we've got 2 cups of flour there. She doesn't specify self-rising or all-purpose, so I actually have a mixture. I just had a little bit of all-purpose flour, so I mixed it with the self-rising flour, and I sifted it and put it in there so that it would just be mixed up well together. And then here in my little spices, we have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda. And then we will top it off with 1/4 cup of the Lily's dark chocolate baking chips. These are the ones I used, the no sugar added. And I did weigh that just to see how many I got in this 1/4 cup, which was 40 grams. So that's how I will actually track it, as 40 grams. Anyway, so we are going to mix the eggs, the brown sugar, the applesauce, the yogurt, and the pumpkin and the vanilla together. Then we will stir in the dry ingredients, and then we're going to put it on this sheet pan, which I've already sprayed it with the Baker's Joy spray, and so it is ready to go. And then I guess we just top it with the chocolate chips, yeah, after it's in there. So that's what it's supposed to look like. So let's get it mixed up because our last meal is almost done, and I want to have this one ready to go in the oven when it is done. Okay, so in the bowl it says to whisk in the eggs, the brown sugar, the applesauce, the pumpkin, which it calls for 2 cups. I'm just going to use this whole container. This should be 2 cups, maybe a tad bit less. Maybe a little bit more, but I used a little bit less applesauce, so it'll be fine. And the yogurt, 1/4 of a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, and then a teaspoon of vanilla. So we're gonna mix this together well, and then we'll add in the dry ingredients. Okay, that's mixed pretty well. We will go ahead and add in the 2 cups of flour. And we have the cinnamon, the pumpkin pie spice, the baking powder, and the baking soda all mixed up there. I'm literally getting flour everywhere. Let me look at my shirt. Okay, I think that is mixed well. That looks like a pretty good consistency. Let me make some space here, and I'll get my sheet pan and we will get these ready. Okay, here's the sheet pan. We are just going to spread this evenly. She said she used an 18 by 13. Mine is actually a 17 by 12. And she cut hers into 35 bars. I probably will not cut mine that small. We'll just kind of see what we end up with. Okay, so we have that spread evenly on here. Now she says to spread the chocolate chips evenly to where each bar will have some chocolate chips on it. So I'm going to do my best. Okay, so they are going in the oven for 30 to 35 minutes. And I'm just going to start with 30 minutes and then we will see if they are done. Alright, moving right along, we have the Cajun Chicken Sausage and Rice out of the oven now. This is from the Skinnyish Dish. Again, this will be linked down in the description box below. When I first pulled it out, I thought, oh, it looks a little liquidy, but I've kind of let it sit here for a few minutes and the rice is absorbing the liquid. So I think it's going to be fine. I took a bite of it. It tasted pretty good. So we are just going to divide it equally into 6 servings.
This time, I've been feeling hopeless till you came around. All this time, you're the only reason I'm not chasing highs. What is love? Lately I've been wondering just what is love? What is love? I don't know. No one ever showed me. I've been on my own for too long. But if you hold me now, let me into your heart. Maybe I can start to love again and tend to my scars. Can you show me how? Can you love me with all you've got?
Okay, so I also steamed some broccoli to go along the side with this, which I just put it in this bowl and just seasoned it with salt and pepper and garlic salt so that it wouldn't be too plain. So we're just going to divide it into these little small ends of the containers. Okay, here are the completed Skinnyish Dishes Cajun Chicken Sausage and Rice casserole along with some steamed broccoli. And I think this probably comes out to about 7 points, she said, on the blue plan. But again, I will have my app linked down below so that you can just import it into your WW app and it will calculate your personal points. So got this one done. Now we are just waiting on the sheet bars to get those out of the oven, and then we will be able to wrap this up. Okay, here are the sheet pan pumpkin chocolate chip bars that I just got out of the oven. I'm going to let them cool for a few minutes. I actually only left mine in for 25 minutes because my oven cooks so hot. Hi, Roy. I know you love it if I say that. And the last time, I can't remember what it was. What was it that we cooked, Charlie, that was so hard? They were hard as bricks. Anyway, it was some dessert that we tried a couple of weeks ago. And so I decided just to try 25 minutes instead of 30, and they feel done to me. So I'm just going to let it set for a few minutes, and then we're probably going to cut it into 20 pieces, maybe, something like that. I don't think I'm going to go for the 35 pieces, but we'll see how it ends up. All right, we are finally done with the meal prep for the day. We have quite the spread here today. I have my 7 containers of fruit and yogurt for my lunches this week. I am going to probably take sandwiches at least for part of the week, and then we will just see how it goes since I am going back into the office tomorrow. I know I said that last week, and then I had to wake up Monday morning and have have COVID. So hopefully I am fine tomorrow and can go to work like I'm supposed to. Here is the Mexican meatloaf with the roasted sweet potatoes and roasted veggies. This is one of our favorites. We've been eating this for years. Highly recommend. This is the new meal that we are trying from the Skinnyish Dish. It is a Cajun Chicken Sausage Rice casserole with some steamed broccoli on the side. Looks delicious. And then I have my scrambled eggs prepped for 5 days and my bacon prepped for 5 days as well. And then here is our dessert. And this is a chocolate chip pumpkin sheet pan bar or something. Again, all of these recipes will be linked down in the description box below, along with the link to my WW app, to where you can import the recipe directly into your app. And with all of that being said, I think I have completed another successful meal prep. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another Sunday meal prep. We got it done. We got a lot of food here this week. I've got my breakfast for all 5 days, dinners for 6 nights, my part of my lunch prepped with my fruit, and we've got what smells like a delicious dessert this week. So super excited to try all of this stuff, and I appreciate all of my, oh hello, there's Nico. And I appreciate all of my Jennifer's Gems that make it all the way to the end as usual. Mr. Nico has to come up here and say hello. I don't think that we have seen him today, but anyway, I love you guys, and I will see y'all in the next video. And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button down below and say bye. Say we'll see you in the next video. We got to put this food up or these cats are going to get it. Love y'all.